Welcome back to Alden Voss, and today you're all joining us for our first episode in the Failsworth watering hole series. This new series will take you all around the Failsworth Urban District licensing area and looking at every single pub in that area, past and present, at its history, its evolution, and if it's closed, when it's closed and its last orders, and what it is after last orders. So we will soon reveal which pub we are doing in a tickety boo. So go and grab your bars and snacks or your beverages and join us for this video. Sit back, relax and enjoy the video. Right, today our pub is Anglers Inn, episode 1, at 95 Wrigley Head. So, the first holding survey map of Failsworth, surveyed in 1844 and published 4 years later, clearly shows a collection of buildings at Wrigley Head and the lane leading through the fields to Wrigley Head bridge over the canal. To the north of Wrigley Head Green. The map shows a few buildings dotted along what is now Wickham Tree Lane, and a plot of land which appears to be marked out for a building. 5 cottages were built there, and the biggest of these was licensed as a beer house in 1866. Fishing in the nearby canal was no doubt a popular pastime in those days, so the beer house was called Anglers Inn after the fishers on the canal. Eleven beer retailers are listed in the 1869 Trade Dictionary, and of these Thomas Hornby or Joseph Kennelly could have been at Anglers, but the dictionary since Hornby is also listed in the 1865 dictionary, before this the beer house opened, Joseph Kennelly is likely candidate. He is not listed in the 1871 census, but things become clearer in 1872 when another beer house keeper, Samuel Wardley, is listed in the Trade Dictionary, and licensing records confirm he was at the Anglers. During his time there, regular vegetable shows were held at the beer house in the summer months, and at a celery show in September 1879, it reported that one Peter Stott won the first prize with a head of celery weighing over 8 pounds and 9 ounces. In the 1881 census found that Samuel Wildley was 59 years old and married to Sarah, aged 52. Lodging with them was Bella Clough, their 15-year-old nephew, who was employed as a moor piercer. 6 years later, Sarah was in charge, so some may have died. And the 1891 census noted that Bella, B-E-L-A, was now assistant. There was also a 57-year-old servant called Jane Gouda to help out. Bella had the license in 1895, but by 1899 he had left. The hangers may have been sold to the Open Saw Brewery of West Gorton around this time, as they already purchased the bricklayers not far away. Cutting out. Can go to that. May have been fishing around for the licensed houses in the neighbourhood. Sorry about that pun. Yeah, fishing around for the beer houses for licenses. Yeah, Rochdale Canal. Sorry if this exposure's a bit. There we go. If the brewery did not take over when Bella left, Henry Robinson was their first tenant, followed by Jane Robinson in 1905. There was then a new licence every 1, 2 or 3 years until 1922. In that year, new ladies' lavatories was provided, and a plan drawn for alterations shows the vault on the left with a smoke room behind it. The small bar was on the right, and also on the right behind the bar was the tenant's kitchen. It's not clear whether this room was licensed, but it was custom for beer houses' kitchens to be used by the women in the company of a hostess. The cellar's that was down some steps under the stairs in the lobby, and the second cellar was reached down a sort of flight of steps on the first cellar. The licensee used to have alterations completed by Thomas H. Tong. He was granted a wine licence following the improvements. Thomas handed over to William Clemenson in 1935, and then in 1949 John Barsley entered the Angler Inn, and it was its host until 1960. He saw 2 breweries takeovers, the Hope and Hanker breweries. Oh, it's getting a bit sunny, isn't it, today? Of Sheffield, acquired the Open Shore Brewery in 1957, and 2 years later merged with Hammond's Brewery and others to form Northern Breweries Limited, later United Breweries. Breathe! Get your refreshments and whatnot, and we carry on. William Kendrick was in charge in 1960, and he applied to get the beer house fully licensed, but was refused because the property wasn't up to standards. Alterations were quickly made on 8th of February 1961, and the public house licence was granted. takeovers and mergers continued, and Carrington United Breweries was formed in 1961, and in 1967 merged with Bass, Mitchell and Butlers to form the largest brewery company in Great Britain. William Kendrick left in that year, and Frank Harding took over until 1977. Christopher Leonard was a successor, and while he was the licensee, the Handlers were given its present layout. After 8 years, Mr. Leonard moved to the King's Arms in Hollingwood, now demolished, and was there for a number of years before moving to Spain. Since 1980s, there have also been change of licensees at Wranglers every 2 or 3 years, with many other public houses in recent times, and the licensee at the time of this publishing was Jane Pete, who took over in 1993. So that's pretty much your history of this pub, from when it was first opened as a beer house. Now it's a fully trading public house, as you can go see us behind. There's been some workmen on the site doing some work, so you can if you're drilling and stuff. They've also got a lovely beer tent out there, probably extra COVID measures. So, we're in this little pub called Wranglers, as you know, and look what we found inside Wranglers. This old original toilet light. Yeah, this is currently getting renovated. But yeah, so I was telling you about the floor plans before. This room here would have been the vaults, and then you would have had another room here. I'll put that up after. Then that would have been the scullery. That would have been the bar, and then this would have been something else. Yeah, look at it. That's everything for this pub. Stay tuned, I will be trying to get as more of these videos done, and there's another pub opposite here called the Bay, which we'll be covering in episode 3. As episode 2 will be coming with you from another pub called the Bay very soon, but not in that bay where we are now.